Operation of CarePump Advanced Series based on EXPERT8 device as an example. Home screen. Start the device by pressing the power button. The home screen will appear. You can start the treatment in two ways, by using the touchscreen or the keyboard. Starting the treatment on the touchscreen. Start by selecting a treatment program. Until the program is selected, the possibility to set other treatment parameters will be disabled. Program selection. Press Program icon. On the screen, you will see the menu where you can choose a program from existing programs, user programs, favorite programs, or create a new program. Existing programs are a list of treatment protocols developed by Polish Linfológica Society with defined parameters such as sequence and speed of filling the chambers, treatment time, gradient, interval and hold function. Pressure is not defined for the programs, and its value should be adjusted each time to the patient's condition and needs. Cuff selection. You can monitor the course of the treatment on the cuff visualization shown on the screen. To select the correct cuff, touch the human body icon and select the appropriate body part. The screen will display the selected cuff divided into numbered chambers. Pressure level selection. Start setting the pressure by selecting the initial pressure and moving the valves up and down on the list. These valves can be displayed on the list every 1, 5, and 10. Confirm the selected pressure level by pressing OK. The pressure in the next chambers will be set automatically in accordance with the set gradient. You can check the pressure value for each chamber on the cuff visualization. To change the pressure for the selected chamber, touch the corresponding area and by moving the values on the list up and down, select the appropriate value. It cannot be higher than the pressure in the previous chamber. To turn off the chamber, press Off. The switched off chamber will not be highlighted. Setting the treatment time and speed of pumping. The treatment can last 1 to 120 minutes, while speed of pumping the chambers is determined by 5 levels, where 1 is the slowest and 5 is the fastest. Pressure gradient. The gradient function enables precise determination of the pressure drop in each subsequent pump chamber. If the gradient is on, the corresponding icon is highlighted in blue. If the gradient is off, the icon is highlighted in white. To check the gradient settings, touch the appropriate button. The screen will display gradient settings such as initial pressure, i.e., the pressure in the first pump chamber. Pressure drop, the amount by which the pressure will decrease in each subsequent pump chamber. The pressure drop value can be specified in millimeters of mercury or as a percentage. Final pressure, i.e., the pressure in the last pump chamber. Confirm selected gradient settings by pressing OK. To turn off the gradient, press Off. Interval hold function. Interval function determines the pause between subsequent cycles of filling the chambers, and hold function is the time for each chamber to maintain its maximum set pressure. These parameters are specified in seconds. To change their value, press the corresponding icons, and by moving the values on the list up and down, select the appropriate one and confirm by pressing OK. Starting and stopping the treatment. After setting the parameters, you can start the treatment by pressing play icon. The currently pumped chambers will flash blue and turn to solid blue light when the set pressure is reached. To temporarily pause the treatment, press pause icon. And if you want to resume the treatment, press play icon. To end the treatment before the specified time has elapsed, press stop icon. It will deflate air from the chambers in the cuff and reset the treatment settings. Copying a program to the list of user programs. To add the selected program to the list of user programs, use plus icon in the upper right corner of the screen. A keyboard will appear on the screen with which you can set a name for the copied program. By touching Information icon, you can check the course and parameters for the copied program. And by selecting Star icon, you can add it to your favorites. Adding a program to the list of favorite programs. To add the selected program to the list of favorite programs, use Star icon. On the list of favorite programs, you can check the course of each of the saved programs and remove the program from the list by pressing Star icon. Starting the treatment using the keyboard. Disabling the touchscreen. To avoid accidentally changing the settings and to lock the touchscreen, press the buttons on the right and left sides of the touch keyboard simultaneously.
Choose program. Display off.
The screen will stop responding to touch. Program selection. Starting the treatment using the keyboard is accompanied by voice communicates. Use the up and down directional arrows to select a treatment program from the list.
Define program 1. Lymphedema 1. Define program 2. Lymphedema 2. Define program 3. Lymphedema 3.
Setting treatment parameters, pressure, time, and speed of the treatment. Use the right and left arrows to switch between the settings of other parameters, initial pressure, time, speed of pumping the chambers, and individual pressure for each chamber. Set the values for each parameter using the up and down arrows.
Global pressure 0 millimeters of mercury, 220 millimeters of mercury.
To go to the setting of the next parameter, press the right arrow.
Time 50 minutes. 45 minutes. Speed 5. 4. Chamber 1. Pressure 215 millimeters of mercury. 210 millimeters of mercury.
Starting and stopping the treatment. Start the treatment by pressing the middle button on the keyboard.
Therapy start.
After hearing the message, starting the therapy, the chambers will start to pump according to the selected program and set parameters. To temporarily stop the treatment, press and hold the middle button on the keyboard.
Pause.
You can resume the treatment in the same way.
Therapy start.
To end the treatment before the specified time has elapsed, press the middle button of the keyboard.
Stop.
It will deflate air from the chambers in the cuff and reset the treatment settings. Creating a new program. Press Program icon and select Create a new program. Name of the new program. Enter a name of the new program using the keyboard displayed on the screen and confirm by pressing OK. Defining parameters: time, speed, interval, hold. Set parameters for the new program: time, speed, interval, hold by selecting the appropriate values from the list. Chamber selection. Select the chambers that will inflate during each treatment cycle. Press the field with the number of the particular chamber. After pressing, the field will be highlighted in blue, which means that the selected chamber will be pumped in a given sequence. To program more than one chamber pumping sequence, press the right arrow and select which chambers should pump in the next cycle. Chambers filled with air in the previous sequence will be marked with a white dot. To return to the view of the previous cycle, use the left arrow. You can delete each of the created sequences using trash can icon. After programming the sequences for the new program, save it by using Save button. The program will be available on the list of user programs. You can also add it to your favorites. Check its basic parameters or delete it. Settings. The icon in the upper right corner of the screen is used to configure the settings. Settings menu enables language selection, sound modification, password management, end of therapy settings, entry screen view, button brightness adjustment, reverse mode activation, color scheme, and access to the service mode. Language. To change the device language, select Language button. In the next step, an alphabetical list of available languages will appear. The active language will be marked with a check mark. Sounds. Sounds option allows you to define the volume and frequency of notifications and voice messages. To enable or disable notifications, voice communicates, device ready, end of therapy, and emergency stop using patient safety button. Press the button next to each of these options. If the button is highlighted, the sound notifications for that option have been turned on. To adjust the volume of sounds, press the percentage displayed next to each option and then set the desired value. For notifications about the end of therapy or emergency stop, you can additionally set the number of repetitions from 1 to 10. Password management. Password management function allows you to set, change, and disable a password that protects the device against unauthorized users. To enable password protection, touch the button next to Password Management icon. Select Password Protected option and set it using the keyboard that appears on the screen. Confirm it with OK button. If you want to check the password you have set, tap crossed eye icon next to the asterisk symbolizing the password. If you want to protect the device with a password, you will have to enter it each time you start the device. Other, end of therapy, entry screen, button brightness, color scheme. End of therapy option allows you to choose whether the treatment should end after finish time or after finish cycle. Entry screen option allows you to select whether the therapy view or the program list should appear on the screen after starting the device. Button brightness option allows you to set the button brightness level. Color scheme. You can choose between standard colors and high contrast, which makes the device easier to use, especially for the visually impaired. Reverse mode. Reverse mode allows setting the inflating of the chambers in the opposite direction, from the last chamber to the first one. When this option is activated, any selected work mode will inflate in the distal direction. Service mode. Service mode is an option protected with a password available only for the authorized service personnel.